So what does domain mean? Yes, x value is the leftmost point to the rightmost point. So left to right, so the x. And range is my y values. So the bottommost point to the topmost point. So the range is my y values. Well, if I want to find the domain and range of this function, what could I possibly do? Desmos. How about I graph it?
Oh, Nicole, I told you that one question. No. Oh. Oh my.
Okay, so on Desmos, and if you do not use Desmos on the actual day of test, I'll cry for you. All right, they're gonna give you a device. Okay, anyways, all right. So this line is a straight horizontal line. So what would there be a leftmost point or a rightmost point?
No,
it's all real numbers because it's going on forever and ever to the left and right. But look at the y value. Any point on this line, the y value is what? Negative 37. So my range is only negative 37. So going back to the answer choices, domain is all real numbers greater than or equal to negative 37. No. Domain is negative 37.
No.
Domain is all real numbers. Range is all real numbers greater than or equal to negative 37.
No.
Domain is all real numbers. Range is 37. No, negative 37, sorry. Yes, okay. So on this problem, we just graphed it and then figured out, well, what would the leftmost point, rightmost point, and the bottommost point and the topmost point? Questions? Ask me now. The daily cost of hiring a plumber to work X hours on a repair project can be modeled using a linear function. The plumber charges a fixed cost, a one-time fee of $80. What does 80 represent? B, thank you. The Y-intercept. Plus an additional cost of $45 per hour. What does this represent? M, my slope. The plumber works a maximum of 8 hours per day. That's important information. Okay, so my equation would be y equals 45x plus 80. What is the range of the function? All right, A and C, automatically, what's wrong with both of those?
They're wrong.
Their domain. Okay, so automatically I can get rid of that one. So if I have a fixed cost of $80, meaning that's how much I have to pay at 0 hours, then I know my lowest Y value is 80, right? Because that's how much I have to pay initially. And then $45 per hour after that. So which answer choice would match that? B. There's my answer.
You don't even need Desmos.
You don't need Desmos. You could use Desmos, but you definitely don't need Desmos on this one.
Also, how do you make it
Good job.
stop
I can show you that later. But yes, Alyssa said it's 440 because 8 hours, 45 times 8 plus 80 would give me the 440. I think at least. Okay. Next one. A set of weights includes a oh, wait, hold on. Does anyone know why this is continuous?
Wow. Because it is. I agree with David.
That's a real dangerous thing.
Why is this continuous and why is it not 80 and then the next number and then the next number and then the next number?
Because you can't stop at any time of the time because you can stop at an hour or a minute or a second.
Perfect. Okay, if I'm hiring a plumber, he doesn't have to work only 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. He can work an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 35 minutes, an hour and 35 minutes and 33 seconds, right? He can work continuously between 0 to 8 hours. So that's why this is a continuous function. Which brings us into look at these answer choices on the next one. All of these are discrete values, right? Because they're listed numbers. So a set of weights includes a 4-pound barbell, and 6 pairs of weight plates. Each pair each pair of plates weighs 20 pounds. If X pairs of plates are added to the barbell, the total weight of the barbell and plates in pounds can be represented by f of x equals 20x plus 4. That was a lot of words. What is the range of the function? Well, before we figure this one out, let's figure out what x represented in the problem. What did it say x represented? Pairs of plates. And what does y represent?
The barrel. The weight.
The total weight, total weight, total weight. So a set of weights includes a 4-pound barbell and 6 pairs of weight plates. Each pair of plates weighs 20 pounds. Oh my goodness, I could not talk. If X pairs of plates are added to the barbell, what is the range? So how much? So one thing, I don't like this problem because you have to know what a barbell is, in my opinion, or like what. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's the bar, but I feel like if you don't know what that is, this problem makes it harder. So it's saying, so the barbell is like the bar, and the little plate weights are the things you put on the end of the bars. So if I didn't have any weights on my barbell, how much does the barbell itself just weigh?
4.
So what is the starting amount for my range? 4. Now, every time I add a pair of weights, you don't only add a one on one side and not on the other side. Okay, you could, but that'd be a little awkward. Okay, so I add them 2 at a time. When I add a pair of plates, how much extra did I add on there? 20. So so if I add a pair, how much now is the bar plus the weights? 24. And then if I add another pair, how much are the bar plus the weights?
44.
44. And then if I add another 20, 64. So what would be the answer? B. Okay. So I need to pause. I said that really fast, so ask me questions. What would 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 represent?
The number of the barrel here.
The number of weight plates. Yeah. So these would represent domain if I had a guess. And then D would represent the range. But this would be the range is if each plate was worth 20 pounds and you were adding 40 pounds, but it says each pair is worth 20 pounds. Okay. Domain and range of a graph. Which inequality best represents the domain of this graph? Everyone go ahead and look at the graph and get an idea in your head. So domain are my what values? X values. So it's the leftmost point to the rightmost point. Which answer choices without even looking at the graph can I automatically cross out? C and D, because those are both have G of X, which represents Y. Now looking at the graph, this open circle tells me what?
It's less than.
Not equal to. Yeah, not equal to. While the closed circle is equal to. So really, I don't even have to do any work on this one because immediately I can look at the signs. Well, let's go ahead and do this. So what is the leftmost point? And what is the rightmost point? What? What?
Sorry, I was looking at the Y.
Yeah, 2. Okay, so my leftmost point is -9. My rightmost point is +2. So my range would be -9 is less than X is less than or equal to 2. This is just saying X is between -9 and 2. I mean, well, I said X, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the domain, yeah, X.
So, correct her. She knows what she's saying, I guess.
Yeah. No, she said the range was. She's just clarifying. I'm sorry.
Thank you for clarification. Okay, pause. Questions, comments, concerns. If I'm going too fast, again, speak up for yourself and your understanding and your learning. Yes. Okay. What is the slope of the line that passes through these points? How do I figure out slope?
Y1 minus Y2 over X1 minus X2.
All right, yeah. So Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay. So to find the slope, this is not something you have to memorize. It's on your formula chart, which I'll print one out eventually. Okay, this is on your formula chart. These are ordered pairs. Here's an X and a Y. Here's an X and a Y. From here, all I got to do is attach labels. I'm going to say this is X1, Y1. x2, y2. Everyone go ahead and find the slope. Please use a calculator too, as well.
Perfect person for you.
Oh my god.
I'll give you about 45 more seconds to find the slope. You're so welcome.
Well,
I'm still mad at y'all from this morning.
what did they do to you this morning?
We're not gonna talk about it. Not right now. We'll talk about it later. Not right now.
Let's talk about
Later
it.
means it's not gonna happen. Black people speak.
Oh.
Stop.
Black language.
Did you just call her a black white woman? I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Statistics.
Hold on. Anyway,
So white
did everyone get -2 for their slope?
Yeah.
Yes, good. Okay, you need to use a calculator, my babies. I know that you are super geniuses, but you need to use a calculator. Okay, so when you try to do this in your head and you begin it wrong, use a calculator. Okay, next one.
When you use your head and you get it wrong.
Okay, which of these best represents the rate of change? What does rate of change mean?
The slope.
Slope. Okay, and for a graph, how do I find the slope?
Rise over run.
Rise over run. Okay. Okay, so I'm glad that Leslie said that because Leslie did not assume, oh, everything's going by 1, so it's rising 1, running 1, the slope is 1. No, she knew that the y-axis is going by 200s. The x-axis is going by 0.5s. Each tick mark is worth 0.5. So when she did her rise over run, how much is it rising? And how much is it running? So 200 over 0.5 is 400. So my slope would be 400 here.
You love that.
I need you to speak up for yourself if you're not understanding something.
Yeah, Bestie. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, this one's asking for, this table shows the linear relationship between the balance of student savings account and the number of weeks. Based on the table, what is the rate of change? So, slope.
So find your
Y1 minus
and then Y2.
Y2
And
minus
then
Y1.
X2 next one.
Perfect. So I would label my points, X1, Y1, X2, Y2, and find the slope. For the sake of time, don't find the slope because this would be too easy for y'all. It would be 7 over 1, which is 7.
Wait,
Yes.
do we have something like this on the test?
These are all star questions.
Huh?
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Star or EOC?
Same thing. Star and EOC, same thing.
Wait,
But one is harder than the other.
do you know when we'll find out our results from the EOC things?
And you did, it's our rock score, but I don't.
But there's a conversion. The one that we took to like.
I don't know, baby. Okay, next one. Okay, this is a question that many people on the quarter 3 test got wrong. What is
Wow.
the y-intercept? Where am I looking for the y-intercept at? On the y-axis, where it hits the y-axis. Everyone, please identify whatever the y-intercept of this graph, please.
They like thought that they did the 0 wrong and they thought.
No, I actually don't know what they did wrong.
I feel like they messed up where the 0 was.
I don't know.
They mixed up at X and Y.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because
Now, I will give you the benefit of the doubt here. What I think people would do on this one, is mess up the order pair because I hear people saying the wrong answer. The answer is not D because -2, 0 is on the x-axis. It's xy. 0, -2 is this point right here. So the answer would be B.
I am so big brain.
It's all
I got it better than high
that's
schooler.
very standard.
Says the one who thought it was
If you
B.
go into the fourth dimension,
Okay.
then you have the W.
This one asked, what is the 0 of the function? Stop. What does 0 mean?
X intercept.
X-intercept. So where am I looking at?
The x-axis.
X-axis. Where is this crossing the x-axis?
-6.
-6. There's my x-intercept.
It honestly looks like a 0 to me. Well,
How?
it's not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yes.
We have over an hour in this call.
Yeah, we still have like.
Okay, I'm trying to finish, guys. I'm trying to finish. Okay. This graph says the graph of 2x minus 5y equals 10 is shown on the grid. Which ordered pair is in the solution set of 2x minus 5y is greater than or equal to 10? Okay, this is where we're getting a little bit more complicated. So if you haven't been paying attention, I need you to actually pay attention now. Before we even get started, 2x minus 5y equals 10. This is in standard form. If you have not come to tutoring, then you probably don't remember much about standard form, point slope form, slope intercept form, and that might need to be a tutoring session for you. But remember, this is in the format of ax plus by equals c. Remember, earlier on in the year, I told you, anytime it is in standard form, I want you to immediately change it to slope intercept form, meaning I want it to be in y equals format. So if I have 2x minus 5y is greater than or equal to 10, and I want to change this into slope intercept form, what is the first thing I would do?
Isolate y.
Okay, so I want to isolate y. Someone raise their hand and tell me how I would isolate y. What's the first thing I do, Brandon? I would absolutely subtract 2x from both sides. If you do not have this in your repertoire of algebra skills, I need you to have this in there because this is one of the most important skills in order to succeed on this test. So I have negative 5y is greater than or equal to 10 minus 2x. Please raise your hand and tell me what the next step would be, Marco.
Divide everything by -5.
Perfect, Marco. And when I divide by a negative, what happens to this inequality sign? It would flip. So it'd be y is less than or equal to 10 minus -5 is negative. 10 divided by -5 is -2. -2 over -5 is positive 2/5 x. So since it's less than or equal to, which way am I shading? Down, below. Okay, so let's quickly review this. Less than or equal to? Less than is shading below. But if it's just less than, it's a dashed line. If it's less than or equal to, it's a solid line. Greater than or equal to is shaded above. But again, if it's just greater than, it's a dashed line. If it's greater than or equal to, it's a solid line. So I'm shading below. So it wants to know what's in the solution set. So 0, 5, 0, 5. Is that number in the solution set? No, because it's not in the shaded region. 5, 0.
It's on the solid line.
Perfect. Thank you. It's on the solid line, meaning it's equal to. So this would be in the solution set. -2, 5 would be outside the solution set, and -5, 2 would also be outside the solution set.
It would not.
Perfect. That's Leslie. Thank you for asking that. Yes, if this line was dashed and it was on the line, that would not be in the solution set because it was not equal to that line. Now, if it sounds like I'm talking like German to you, then you need to be in tutoring. I cannot emphasize that enough.
I haven't heard the word hog and dog yet.
Okay. All right. Which ordered pair is in the solution set of y is greater than or equal to 1/3 x plus 4? Greater than or equal to, am I shading below or above? Above. So I'm shading above my line.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
It's not
It's not even in the line.
You know what?
Yeah, okay, that's a lot.
It's not any better.
That's so much better.
It's not, it was outside the grid.
How about we tell them inside the lines?
That's teaching her.
I think the children know better than all of them.
I'm the art kid here.
All right.
I'm the art kid in here.
So everyone figured out the answer. Everyone figured out the answer.
What did you do? What left in the previous one?
That was easy.
And the answer is, children?
But you gotta go through all of them and check your answers and make sure you get it.
Tavian, say that again.
Oh, I said you gotta go through all of the answers to make sure you get it right. And then
Absolutely. Negative 6, 1 is right here.
oh, it's great.
Negative 1, negative 1, 6 is up here. 6, negative 1 is right here. 1, negative 6 is here. So obviously I messed up somewhere. So let's just say this is negative 1, negative 6 instead. Okay. All right. So those are all STAR questions. Those were all EOC questions. Now,
I would have changed them.
what?
I'm just bad at math.
Maybe you and your little mouth can just go.
I don't want to talk about Lil, I don't want to talk about math. So how about you sit down so I
Okay.
can stop being selfish.
Really quickly, before I let you go to today's assignment, I need you to make sure that we know a couple of things. Y equals mx plus b, ax plus by equals c, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I need you to know these and understand them. What does m stand for?
Slow.
B? Okay, and ax minus by equals c. Some of you are at the point where you can just look at the equation and know the slope and y-intercept. Good for you. But the other people, I need you to always change this to slope-intercept form. Why? Because in test mode, on Desmos, you cannot graph anything in standard form. So if you don't know off the top of your head, if you saw this equation, the slope and y-intercept, then it is your responsibility to make this into slope-intercept form. So from this, what was the slope? What's the slope and y-intercept? Raise your hand, please. Slope and y-intercept. Grayson
2.5.
is the, yes, and then what's the y-intercept?
Really? -5. -5.
You really could have got that.
Okay, now if you know the hint, I mean if you know the shortcut,
It's
anytime it's in standard form, the slope is negative a over b, and the y-intercept is c over b. If you know the shortcut, great. If you don't, you need to always change this.
I'm so glad I came.
Yes. And no, I said in test mode.
He really thought he did.
It's okay. Now I'll show you later how it's going. It's not going to let you do it. Okay, m is slope here in point slope form, but remember x1 and y1 is a point that it's giving you. But remember, it's opposite. So if it said y minus 7 equals 1/2 x plus 8, the point it's giving you x plus 8 is negative 8. Y minus 7 is positive 7. This is the x and y ordered pair. Also, remember one thing. I can change this to slope-intercept form. I can distribute the 1/2, giving me y minus 7 equals 1/2 x plus 4. And then I could add 7 to both sides. There's my slope. There's my y-intercept. If you notice, you can always change it to slope-intercept form. Always. Okay. We just did about, bye baby. We just did about 10 weeks of learning in 30 minutes. Okay, so let me explain what we're doing.
Yay, Juliet.